Hi all. So welcome to Accounting Paper 1 video lectures. So this is Satcharaju Kolluru, practicing chartered accountant and faculty for accounting and advanced accounting for CA Inter. So before proceeding with the chapters, what are the resources required and the flow you have to follow while watching the lectures? First, let us see in the brief. So in the material corner in application or the web browser, what are the thing you are using in the material corner under the specific subject, the respective material was already placed. Please download the material. So make it as a hard copy, which was a full-fledged material. Just right now, I'm showing the entire material. So almost it contains 286 pages. So which is a form part of both theoretical aspects and the problematic issues. Okay. At the end of the chapter, at the end of the respective chapter, so the problems were completely given. So just for one chapter, I will show here. At the end of the chapter, so problems based on some other issues. So something was clearly given, right? So at the end of the chapter, clear-cut problems were given. Sir, what about solutions? For solutions, I'll release another material, so which was also placed in the same material tab in the respective application. You can also download the solutions also separately. But my request is, don't see the solutions material. In the classroom discussion, we entirely and in detail will discuss each and every problem and we will resolve in the classroom itself. Okay. So just you can use it as that solution material as a reference at the time of your preparation. Or sometimes if the solutions are too lengthy and which is not immaterial or which is not that much of material, then I can take the take the lecture from the printed solution as well. So at that point of time, we can use that solution material. Clear? So that means there are only two materials exist. One is a full-fledged material which contains theoretical aspects as well as problem issues. And the next one is pure solutions material to the respective problems. Okay, that's it, guys. No need to refer any other material, which is a final full-fledged material which is useful for your examination preparation. Sir, apart from this material, can we read any other material? So believe me, guys. So this material I prepared by putting a lot of efforts, which contains so the previous RTPs, previous MTPs, the examination question papers, and the main illustrations covered by the study material, and the practical questions also covered by the study material, which is an evaporative material, so which contains all type of problems and all type of models which were covered in the institute resources as well as previous examination and all other stuff. So that's why no need to refer any other book. So believe me, it is more than enough for examination to get at most score. Okay, now coming to the topic, guys. So the first and foremost topic was fundamentals and introduction of accounting, which was actually not placed in our ICA material. So just as I thought, so if any student still not brushing up his basic accounting skills in the foundation or any other level, it might be useful. Or for those students who already got some knowledge on the basics of accounting, which is useful as a simple revision. So that's why, so don't take it as a granted. So please, all of you, watch this video completely, even though if it is a fundamentals and introduction of accounting, which give entire base to the all the further chapters as well as the crux of the accounting, guys. Okay, so without wasting much time, let me entering into the topic, fundamentals and introduction of accounting. So the first and foremost question coming into my mind is, sir, why accounting? Why accounting? So that is the first question coming into my mind. Here I am not discussing the meaning of accounting. Here I raised a question, why accounting? So if that question coming into my mind, so there are so many answers evolving line by line. So somebody told, why accounting? Accounting will give transparency, na? Transparency. For example, someone conducting the business activities, whether they are conducting such business activities properly or not, how will we know? If they will record something, if they will account for something, then we can check whether they are right or wrong. Then we can agree with that people, then we can continue the business activities with that people. If I am conducting my own business activities, so then what is the use of accounting? Knowing the performance. So as an entrepreneur, every person at the end of the day, whether we are end up with profit or loss, how much profit we earned. So everybody are willing to know that, right? So that might be also the reason for the accounting. So there are so many other reasons why accounting was very much important in the present economic environment. So there are so many users of the accounting information. So like how the proprietor, how much profit they earned, if they want to know, accounting is the prima facie. Or if it is in point of a company, shareholders want to know how much profit earned by the company, that is related to the dividend or the share price issues. They are very eagerly waiting. Even the banking industries are also very much interested about the accounting information. That is based on the accounting information only they can provide the financial issues that is related to loans and all other stuff will be going on. Even the regulators are eagerly waiting. Why? Because so regulators means like income tax department or like some other any regulatory departments or Ministry of Corporate Affairs. If all the companies are governed by the regulatory like MCA, all those are eagerly waiting whether the entities are properly conducting their business activities or not. That means there are so many reasons are there why accounting. But the basic reason I can tell you, the basic reason was why accounting, that is knowing performance, simply knowing performance. Correct. Sir, performance means you know the ultimate result. Performance means that is the ultimate result. Result of the entity. Am I right? So in just here I'm telling in very basic manner. So don't go into the roots and all other issues. Just why accounting, sir, just simply knowing the performance. Okay. So then what is the meaning of accounting, sir? That what is the meaning of accounting? From the meaning of accounting, just I will try to establish each and every link. Now coming to the meaning of accounting, guys, all of you coming to meaning of accounting first. Sir, here I'm not touching anything. If you see, I dragged 2 to 3 pages. I'm not touching the index. I'm not touching any blueprint, all other stuff. So first let us discuss the fundamentals. After that, I will introduce all such things, guys. Now coming to the meaning of accounting. Accounting is the art of recording, classifying, summarizing the transactions and events which have financial character, analyzing and interpreting the results thereof. Okay. So let us split this entire meaning of accounting into various parts. Let me discuss first about transaction and event. Sir, what is the meaning of transaction and event? Just a second. What is the meaning of transaction and event? So many members already aware about that. Transaction and event. What is the meaning of transaction and event? And what is the difference between transaction and event? Sir, transaction is anything which refers to anything which related to exchange of goods or services. So there may be happening of any exchange of good, purchase, sale, service. So I'm taking service from the employee, which is a service, on cash or credit basis by the business with outside parties. Oh my God. So that means for occurring of a transaction, two parties should be mandatory. One party should be entity, business entity, and the other party should be outsider. So in between two parties, anything occurred through exchange of goods or services, through exchange of goods or services for cash or credit, for cash or credit, then such exchange of goods or services is known as transaction. It's very simple. So purchase of goods, the sale of goods, that is rent paid, electricity paid, everything is a transaction. But one thing, guys, please remember, the transaction should have some financial character. Transaction should have some financial character. Sir, if the transaction doesn't have the financial character, if the transaction doesn't have any financial character, we should not consider into accounting. That is a very important point. The transactions which have the financial character, only we should consider into accounting. So all such issues will come step by step. No worries. We will take up the same point again below. Okay. Now coming to the event, guys. Coming to the event. Sir, what is the meaning of event? Sir, here I gave one conclusion, but I left for the time being. So I'll come back once again to the conclusion. Transaction is a clause. Transaction is a cause. So first, let us move on with the event. An event may be described as anything that occurs as a result of something. That means if something already occurred as a result of something, if anything happened, that anything is known as an event. In very simple terms, transaction was already occurred as a result of transactions. If anything occurred on this something place, if you put transaction, if you read the sentence, then you can easily understand. An event may be described as anything that occurs as a result of transaction. Simply, event is not a transaction. Event was happened as a result of a transaction. Okay, that is, event is the final outcome of the transaction. Conclusion, event is an effect. Now let us move on our discussion with conclusions part. Here I wrote transaction is a cause. Cause means which is a starting point. Event is an effect, which is an ending point. So transaction is a cause for which event. Transaction is a cause for the event. Event is an effect of transaction. Now here I built two sentences. So just a second. Just give a moment, guys. Yes, yes, please. Yeah, now it came. Right. So we draw two conclusions. So the conclusion number one is transaction is a cause. Transaction is a cause. Event is an effect. Event is an effect. So transaction is a cause of event. So to occur that event, which was a cause and a simple transaction. Event is an effect of transaction. So I give a beautiful example here, then you can easily appreciate the difference between transaction and event. Please, all of you, concentrate here, guys. Sir, I purchased some goods. Let us assume 1,000 units. I purchased 1,000 units worth of goods. Out of such 1,000 units, in the current year, I sold out 500 units. I sold out 500 units. Now, the remaining number of units held as a closing stock, the remaining number of units held as a closing stock in my godown was 500 units. Am I right, guys? Now, purchase of 1,000 units is a transaction, and the sale of 500 units out of 1,000 units is also a transaction. As a result of purchase and sales, I derived the closing stock worth of 500 units is an event. Now let me correlate. Transaction is a cause of event. Sir, how this closing stock 500 units you derived, sir? Ante such a closing stock was derived due to purchase and sale of goods, which are transactions, are cause for this closing stock. Purchases and sales are cause for occurring of closing stock. Do you agree, guys? Then coming to event, event is an effect of transaction. Event is an effect of transaction. Sir, why this closing stock was evolved, sir? Due to the effect of purchases and sales. That is very simple. So that's why transaction is the beginning, event is the ending. Transaction is a cause, event is an effect. So we can easily appreciate with this beautiful example the difference between transaction and event. Hope you understand. Now coming back to the material, let us read the example clearly what is given here. Suppose Alpha Limited is a supplier of cycles which cost 4,200 per cycle. Okay. Beta Limited purchases 20 cycles from Alpha Limited at the rate of 5,000 per cycle. Now coming to Beta Limited, it purchased 20 cycles from Alpha Limited, which is purchases of cycle is a transaction. The purchasing and selling that took place between the two business entities is a transaction. Purchases for Beta, selling for Alpha. Okay, both are transactions. While the reduction in stock and profit earned is an event. To whom which is a reduction in stock? For Alpha Limited, which is a reduction in the stock. For Beta Limited, which is a increase in the stock. And a profit earned from whom which is a profit? Alpha Limited, which is a profit. So just he is telling in Alpha Limited point of view, reduction in the stock is a event, as well as due to sale of the transaction, Alpha Limited earned some profit, which is also as an event, as well as after purchases, if such goods are not sold by Beta Limited to the outside party, so deriving the closing stock in the books of Beta Limited is also is an event. Hope you understand. Okay, now let us move on to the meaning. So just here only explained transaction and event. Now you get the better picture or the better clarity about transaction and event. Now let us move on with recording. What I have to record? I have to record such transactions and event. Now coming to the meaning of accounting, we are in the meaning of accounting. In the meaning of accounting, till now we saw only transactions and event. Just a second, guys. This OneNote is in very slow mode, so that's why the written part was not appeared clearly. Hope now it came. Right. So we are in meaning of accounting. In meaning of accounting, we discussed till now about transaction and event. Now accounting is recording of what? Recording of transactions and event. Recording of transactions and event. Okay. Now here so many questions coming into my mind. The first and foremost question, sir, these transactions and events recording in which book? In which book? That is the first question coming into my mind. So you already saw that book is nothing but journal. In which book? Which is nothing but journal. Next, In which order? In which order you will record? So the order in which it was recorded as chronological order. Chronological order. Chronological order means when the transaction appeared in the same order, you should record. So I opened my business at 8 o'clock. One transaction happened. You should record first the transaction. After that, 8:15, another transaction happened. You should record another transaction at 8:15. That is nothing but chronological order. Okay. And the next important question was, how you can record? How I can record? The next question was how I can record. So the transaction and events, I am not recording as it is in the form of sentences as they occurred. So today I purchased goods worth of 2000. The same way I'm not recording. How I will record the transactions and events, I'm going to record in the form of journal entries. In the form of journal entries. So the transactions and events occurred in my business organization, I'm going to record in the book in the form of journal entries. Okay. Sir, what is these journal entries? How these journal entries are going to be recorded is the matter of the story. Entire, wherever you are go in the entire accounting. So if you can able to understand how to draft the journal entries for a particular transaction and event, then most of your work got completed in the subject so called as accounting or advanced accounting, whatever the case may be. Now, coming back to my material. Now let me discuss about recording, guys. Please all of you concentrate. Recording. Business transaction having financial character. So just few minutes back, I used the same word. Those transactions and events which have the financial character are only recorded in accounting, which is nothing but the book is so called as journal. This book is further divided into several subsidiary books. Oh, in foundation, you may have different chapters, journal as well as subsidiary books. The difference between journal and subsidiary books are the difference between journal and subsidiary books is nothing. Both are same. You can use the word journal or you can use the word subsidiary books. Then why they are giving as a two different chapters? Journal is a big book. All type of transactions and events you are recorded in the book so called as journal only. If such a journal is divided according to their characteristics of the transactions and events into several books, which was termed as a subsidiary books. In case of subsidiary books, you may have so many books like just a second, so many books like purchases book, purchases. Okay. Once again. One second, guys. So you may have purchases book, or you may have sales book. You may have purchases book. You may have sales register or the sales book. You may have purchase returns. You may have purchase returns or coming here. You may have sales returns register, or you may have bills receivable, or you may have bills payable, or you may have journal proper, or you may have cash book. All these are different journals. You already learned about such subsidiary books in detail in your foundation. So just here I'm brushing up. So journal was Another name for the journal was subsidiary books. Subsidiary books contains purchases, sales, purchase returns, sales returns, bills receivable, bills payable, journal proper, cash book. Okay, so let us give some time. I will discuss each and everything. Let me continue with some further what is given here. So ultimately, recording is nothing but business transactions having some financial character. Recording the book of journal. This book is further divided into several subsidiary books. Just now we saw some set of subsidiary books. Now here, the art of recording journal entries for a transaction and event, we are going to learn. Please allow me concentrate a little bit here. Now I'm discussing the art of recording journal entries to transactions and events. Actually, the art of recording journal entries have two methods, guys. Have two methods. In that, by using any of the method, we can write the journal entries for the transactions and events. Number one is scientific approach. Number two is accounting equation approach. Two approaches are there. Scientific approach is there, accounting equation approach is there. Sir, what is the meaning of scientific approach? What is the meaning of accounting equation approach? So scientific approach is nothing but just a moment, guys. Yes, scientific approach is nothing but by applying golden rules of accounting. By applying golden rules of accounting. By applying golden rules of accounting, if we can pass the journal entries, that approach is known as scientific approach. Sir, coming to accounting equation approach, here the word itself contains based on the accounting equation, we will pass the journal entries with the respect to transaction and event. So which is known as accounting equation approach. Sir, just believe me, we never use the scientific approach, that is golden rules of accounting, except in foundation. For further all, whether you are going to the CA inter or CA final or going to the practically, most of the times you are expressing the journal entries by applying accounting equation approach. Why? Because which is very simple while compared with the scientific approach. So golden rules of accounting is also very scientific and which is also very easy, but by applying the some rule every time you have to write the journal entry, but sometimes such golden rules of accounting you may not apply to a particular transaction or an event. So which is too difficult, application itself is too difficult. So that's why here I'm clearly telling for the entire accounting and advanced accounting, please all of you habituate to write the journal entries based on accounting equation. Sir, what are the golden rules of accounting? Can you please tell me how to write the journal entries based on golden rules of accounting? Just now I told you we never use the golden rules of accounting. I don't want to waste time on by application of the scientific approach how to write the journal entries. Let me directly go on with how to write the journal entries by applying the accounting equation, which is heart of the entire accounting. Please concentrate, guys, all of you. Sir, first, before directly going with the accounting equation, first let me tell you one thing, guys. Ultimately the objective of the accounting is, ultimately the objective of accounting was to know the performance. For that we will prepare financial statements. Which is known as financial statement. The objective of accounting itself is preparation of financial statements. Sir, basically a financial statement comprises, here I am talking very basic expression, sir. Basically financial statements comprises two things. One is profit and loss account. and another one was balance sheet. Am I right? So one is profit and loss account, another one is balance sheet, guys. Sir, through preparation of profit and loss account, you may know the performance of the entity. So performance means, you know, profit or loss, you know, performance of the entity. Sir, in the current year, how much profit or loss we derived? Through balance sheet, what we will know, financial position. Financial position means how much you are worthy. For example, in the current year, I may end up with loss. That means I'm not containing any assets. No, how much you are worthy, we are knowing by seeing the balance sheet, but not through the profit and loss. So that's why balance sheet will tell us the status of the financial position. Profit and loss account will tell us the performance of the entity. Am I right? Okay, sir, why you are introduced again the financial statements first without establishing the art of recording the journal entries? I'm coming to that point, guys. In the balance sheet, you know, coming to the balance sheet, I'm talking about balance sheet, right? In the balance sheet, you know one thing, guys, what it is. Liabilities, I'm telling in very basic point of view, so don't think while compared with entity point of view. So coming to the company like that, coming to the partnership like that, don't think all such things. In very basic issue, coming to the sole proprietor itself, I'm telling. So liabilities plus capital, or I'll write like this, just a second. Capital plus profits plus outside liabilities is equal to assets. Will you agree, all of you? You already prepared the sole proprietor financials in your foundation or in the other courses, whatever the case may be. You will agree, right? Under the left hand side, capital plus profits. The profits are also belong to the proprietor. That's why I added to the capital plus outside liabilities is equal to assets. Am I right? Okay. Now, can you please tell me, guys, all of you, profits is nothing but how will you derive the profits? In profit and loss account. How will you get the profit? That is while compared with income and expenses. That is simply income minus expenses is equal to profits. Now the equation is look like capital plus income minus expenses plus liabilities is equal to assets. All of you, please observe carefully. Capital plus income plus liabilities is equal to assets plus expenses, which is nothing but accounting equation. The same equation just I expressed by putting all the minuses at one place. Just if I take it into the right hand side, which will come it as a plus expense. So now coming here, just a moment, coming here. So the same accounting equation was given by me in the material. Capital plus liabilities plus income is equal to asset plus expenses. This is accounting equation only. This is accounting equation. By knowing the accounting equation, how we can record the journal entries, now I'm going to discuss. Please all of you concentrate, guys. By knowing the accounting equation, how you can record the journal entries, now I'm going to explain. Please all of you concentrate. Sir, as per the dual aspect concept, this is not as per the accounting equation, as per the dual aspect. The name itself contains dual means two, aspects means things, two things. As per the dual aspect concept, every transaction contains two aspects. One is debit aspect, another one is known as credit aspect. Again, I am repeating, as per the, now I'm discussing by applying the accounting equation, how to record the journal entries. By applying the dual aspect concept, every transaction having two aspects, one is debit aspect, another one is credit aspect. Okay, that means every transaction will be split into two aspects. Transaction itself split into debit aspect as well as credit aspect. Okay, the first and foremost thing, by seeing a transaction, I'll give an example. Salaries paid worth 5 lakhs. This is a transaction, right, which have a financial character happened in the organization. Now, this transaction should be split into two aspects. One is debit aspect, another one is credit aspect. Consider this, all of you. Sir, what are the two aspects, sir? What are the two ultimate outcomes of the financial impact? You have to check. The ultimate outcomes of the financial impact was due to payment of the salaries, cash outlay is there. Cash outlay is there, no doubt about it. And another one, salary is an expenditure. Salaries is an expenditure. Salaries is an expenditure. And a cash outlay is there, which is nothing but asset. Sir, here I'm not telling very basic point of view. At least now you are in a position to identify whether a particular item is an asset or liability or income or expense or a capital. Am I right? At least you should be in a position to identify asset, liability, income, expense. It is more than enough for you how to draft the journal entry for any transaction. Now concentrate. So in the transaction salaries paid, two issues are happened. Assets balance was decreased and the salary which was an expenditure was increased. Am I right? Now coming to the accounting equation, first you should identify as per the dual aspect, two aspect, debit aspect, credit aspect. Now out of these, cash which aspects are, salaries which aspects are, I don't know, right? I don't know. Now I have to debit one aspect, I have to credit one aspect. Which aspect should be debited, which aspect should be credited? Now I am learning through accounting equation. All of you concentrate. Out of the left hand side, capital plus income plus liabilities, if there is any increase, it should be credited. On the left hand side, if there is any increase, it should be debited. The same way, coming to the left hand side, if there is any decrease, it should be debited. If there is any decrease, it should be credited. Simply saying, increase in capital and income and liabilities should be credited. If there is a decrease, it should be debited. Increase in assets and expenses should be debited. If there is a decrease, it should be credited. Now let us apply the accounting equation to the coming case. Asset, cash was decreased due to payment of salaries, right? Asset was decreased. If there is a decrease in asset, it should be credited or debited? Credited. So decrease in asset, guys, decrease in asset, decrease in cash, it should be credited. So that's why cash should be credited. Coming to salaries, due to salaries, there is increase in expenditure, right? Increase in expenditure was increased, it should be debited. It should be debited. So that's why the entry was, always you should write the debit aspect first. So the entry was salaries account to cash account. Salaries account to cash account. While writing the journal entry, it is the practice from the ancient days that after writing the debit aspect, you should write the word DR. DR stands for debit. You are indirectly telling that salaries account was debited, which is a debit aspect. If you record 2 means 2 itself representing that which is a credit aspect. So cash account is a credit aspect. So by writing like this, indirectly you are telling that salaries account is a debit aspect and cash account is a credit aspect. Hope you understand. Now let me give another transaction and move on the further concept, guys. So another transaction is capital introduced by proprietor. Capital introduced by proprietor worth 1 lakh. Now all of you, first your duty was, as per dual aspect concept, identify the two aspects in that particular transaction. Two aspects were, one is capital, another one is cash. One is capital, another one is cash. Now all of you, cash is an asset, guys. Cash is an asset, you know, right? Now due to introduction of capital, there is an increase in capital as well as increase in cash. Now apply the accounting equation, which aspect should be debited, which aspect should be credited. If there is an increase in capital should be credited. Okay, increase in capital should be credited. It should be credited. Increase in cash means increase in asset. All of you see, increase in asset should be debited. So initially you have to check every time the accounting equation, but once the accounting equation was stored into your mind, sir, which aspect should be debited, which aspect should be created, then automatically accounting equation will come to your mind, automatically you will apply. This is the starting point. So that's why it may take time to apply the accounting equation to a particular transaction. But once if you are habituating to apply, everything will come out in very smooth manner, guys. Please allow you habituate to apply the accounting equation. Previously, what are the method you are using, just ignore that. So from this point of time, please allow you habituate to apply the accounting equation approach. So that's why write the journal entry for here, how the journal entry will look like for this. So cash account debtor to capital account. So always you should write the amounts as well. Here it is 5 lakh, right? Earlier I didn't wrote. So here it is 1 lakh. Fine, guys. So coming back to the material, now just here we saw the art of recording the journal entries to a particular transaction and event by applying the accounting equation. Capital plus liabilities plus income is equal to asset plus expenses. Everything was clearly given. If you follow the material, it is more than enough. So if there is any increase, it should be credited. If there is any decrease, it should be debited. If there is any increase under assets and expenses side, it should be debited. If there is any decrease, it should be credited. So that is the art of recording the journal entries to a particular transaction and event. Where we record? Journal. How we will record? In the chronological order. Just now we completed the art of recording the journal entries to a transaction and event. Coming back to the meaning of accounting again, guys. Meaning of accounting. Till we not yet completed the meaning of accounting, just we completed transaction and event, then we completed recording. Sir, what is your ultimate objective of accounting? Just now we saw the preparation of financials. Preparation of financials is nothing but knowing profit or loss and knowing the financial position. So once again, just I am showing. So just here we check what is our objectives are. Ante the objective of accounting was preparation of financials, which is nothing but profit and loss, and balance sheet, that is performance, knowing profit or loss of the financial position, right? For that particular purpose, sir, if I record the journal entries in the book so-called as journal, is it sufficient to prepare the financials? No, guys. Sir, why? Because in the organization, so many transactions are occurring. I required the summary. Sir, how much profit you derived in the current year, sir? Ante, first you should tell about what are all your different incomes, what are all about your different expenses. Then if you compare income with expenses, then you will get profit, right? Sir, what are all your different incomes, sir? Ante, in the form of journal entries, I will record different incomes at a different point of times at a different amounts. For example, what are the total sales? Sale is an income, right? What are the total sales made in a particular month or made in a particular year? How can I know? By seeing the journal, I can't tell my total sales. Why? Because I made a different sale transaction at different point of times on different days. Now my next objective is I want to summarize the information which was wrote in the book, so-called a journal. I need some summary information. That's why I will classify. I will classify the accounts which was recorded in the book, so-called as journal, in another book which is known as ledger. Which is known as ledger. Now all of you concentrate. My next objective is classifying the journal entries which was recorded in the book journal. My next objective was classifying. Okay. So first, why I have to classify? Why I have to classify? Just so I already told you, sir, with by preparation of the journal, I cannot directly prepare the financials. Likewise, transactions, I have to classify and put into a single place. With that information, I can easily prepare the financials. So that's why, so putting the likewise information with the same account, likewise information will put into the one account under the book so-called as ledger. The process is known as classifying. Now, the process of transferring the journal entries from the book journal to the book ledger is known as posting. Posting. Posting is a process of recording. Consider all of you. Recording journal entries in the book ledger through classification. Through classification is known as posting. Sir, recording the journal entries in the book of journal is known as journalizing. Here, if you see here, recording the journal, recording in which book means journal, right? That process, transactions and events recorded in the book journal is known as journalizing, which is known as journalizing. Now, recording the journal entries in the book ledger through classification is known as posting. Okay, so here we answer two questions. Why we are preparing the ledger? For the purpose of classification of journal entries with the like nature, for the purpose of preparation of the financial statements. So sales made at different point of time, salaries paid at different point of times, expenses occurred at different point of times, all like nature expenditure should be put into the same account, and it should be classified into the same account. That process is nothing but posting. Now here I will tell you how to classify. Consider it, guys. With these entries only, I will tell you with these entries. Just I'm telling, sir, here I passed two entries, right? Here I passed two entries. One is salaries entry I passed. Another entry was passed by me, which was capital. Right? Now concentrate, all of you. Now I have to prepare now I have to prepare ledger in T shape, guys. In T shape. Which shape I have to prepare? In T shape. One second. So T shape means this is the T shape, right? Right. So now, what are the different account names? Can you please tell me? So one of the account was salaries. Yes. Another account is there, which is a capital. Okay. Another account is capital. Yes. One more account is there, which was cash, right? So let me draft the cash account as well. So the last account is cash, right? Right, guys. Which is cash account. Please all of you concentrate. Now, just we will transfer the journal entries from the book journal to ledger. So the first and foremost entry was salaries to cash. Salaries to cash, right? Sir, salaries, each and every account having two sides, left hand side and right hand side. Left hand side is known as debit side, right hand side is known as credit side. How the debit aspect and credit aspect contained by the journal, the debit side and credit side contained by the ledger. So every account having debit, credit. On the left hand side debit, right hand side credit. Now the first and foremost entry was salary account data to cash account. Sir, how to write the how to post the journal entry, sir? Salary account was debited, right? Now all of you concentrate. Salary is debited to cash. Salary is debited to cash. Okay. I'll do one thing. For the time being, salary is paid. Let me put as a 50,000. So just I'm rubbing 10. Just a second. For the timing, just for my example, here I am putting which is a 50,000, guys. Okay. Now salaries to cash, right? 50,000. Salaries to cash, 50,000. Now one more thing, cash was created, right? If you go to the cash account under credit, cash was created, right? So which is recorded salaries simultaneously. Sir, why you recording under credit side, sir? Because cash account was created, na? In the entry, cash was created. Cash account, credit side. Go to credit side. While recording credit side, you should use the word buy. While recording the debit side, you should use the word to. Who told, sir? These are practices from the ancient, from the long ago. Our people are using the same thing. So just we are using like that. Okay. But believe me, guys, practically nobody will use like that. So many softwares are there. We never use to buy and the journal entries. We will never record each and everything. All such things will be done in generally by the software. That is a different story. By moving on the subject, I will tell you each and everything. So now another entry, let us try to post the another journal entry. So another journal entry was, what is the journal entry, guys? Just a second. So journal entry was cash to capital. So cash account data to capital account. So that is debit cash, cash to capital account. How much cash introduced? 5 lakhs, right? So which was 5 lakhs. 5 lakh or 1 lakh? Sorry, 1 lakh, which is a 1 lakh. Under cash to capital, if you go to the capital account, capital was created. That's why under credit side, you have to write by cash, which was 1 lakh. Now, at the year end, what I have to do, sir? I have to balance. Why you are preparing the ledger? The main reason for preparation of the ledger is for the purpose of preparation of the financial statements only, right? I require the summary information. Summary information means what are the total salaries made in the current year? If there is only one transaction, that's why you can easily tell 50,000. If 100 of transaction will there look like, then how you can tell? You have to balance each and every account. Balancing means find out the total debit aspects, find out the total credit aspects. And the salaries, total debits 50,000 total. Sir, total credits 0. That's why the maximum amount you can put it as a total 50,000. So the balance amount was 50,000. You can put it as by balance carried down, which was 50,000. Consider it, guys, all of you. By balance brought down will be termed as brought down to the next year, which is to balance brought down. Always, sir, salaries account showing which balance. If anybody asks, you have to check balance B by D. B by D under debit side. That's why salaries account is showing a debit balance of 50,000. That is the meaning of that sentence, to balance B by D 50,000. Like this, if I balance the capital account here, to balance carried down, which is a 1 lakh. Okay. Now go to the total, guys. 1 lakh total, right? So to balance carried down means by balance brought down, which is again 1 lakh. Now I am interpreting again. Please all of you concentrate. Balance B by D under which side? Credit side. That's why capital account is showing a credit balance of 1 lakh. Next, cash account. Let me balance the cash. Two sides it have some amounts. So total, the maximum amount was 1 lakh. First make it as a total. So the remaining balancing figure was by balance carried down, which was 50,000. Here, to balance brought down 50,000. Now, all of you, can you please tell me cash account BBD under which side? Debit side. So that's why showing cash account is showing a 50,000 debit balance. Now you know the summary of the information. Salary is paid in the current year 50,000. Capital introduced in the current year 1 lakh total. So cash remaining balance was 50,000. Cash remaining balance was 50,000. Now I will tell you the beauty of the dual aspect concept. All of you, please concentrate. Here I'm explaining the beauty of the dual aspect concept. Sir, with the remaining balances were salaries, which is having a debit balance of 50,000. Okay. Capital, I have a capital having credit balance of, come on guys, 1 lakh, capital credit balance of 1 lakh, and cash having a debit balance of 50,000. These are the remaining outcomes of the remaining balances, right? Total of the debit aspects is equal to total of the credit aspects. This is nothing but the dual aspect concept. For each and every debit aspect, there is a consequent credit aspect is there now in the journal. Now, if you check the total debits, 50,000 plus 50,000, which is 50,000 plus 50,000, which is nothing but 1 lakh, right? The total debit aspect, which is equal to the total of the credit aspect, which is also 1 lakh, which is nothing but the dual aspect concept, guys. Okay. Now let us move on with again the meaning, guys. Sir, accounting is the art of recording. We saw the recording. Classifying, just now we saw the classifying. Why you made recording and classifying? For the purpose of preparation of the financial statements. Sir, where then preparation of financials will happen, sir? Ante in summarizing. Okay. Then in summarizing, what will happen? In summarizing, what will happen? In summarizing, preparation of financial statements will happen. In summarizing, preparation of financial statements will happen. But one thing, guys, before preparation of financial statements, that is, once you prepared journal, after that, for summary of information, for knowing summary of information, you prepared a ledger. After that, you are going to prepare the financials, right? Now, before preparation of financial statements, first you have to check whether all the recorded journal entries or whether all the posted journal entries in the ledger contains any arithmetical errors. If they contains any errors, then financial statements will not show the true and fair view. True and fair view means, sir, how much profit you derived, sir? Sir, one journal entry was wrongly entered. Salary is paid 50,000, but I entered only 5,000. Did you understand? That is, debit aspect entered 50,000, credit aspect entered only 5,000. Then how it will match? It doesn't match, right? That is, total of the debit aspect should be equal to the credit aspect, total of the credit aspect. To know that arithmetical accuracy, I will prepare one more statement, which is known as trial balance. So the name itself contains, which is a trial. With the balances, with the appearing balances, just I make it as a trial. Whether all the debit aspects are equal to the credit aspects. Sir, if straight away the debit aspects are not equal to the credit aspects, means some error is there. And one more thing also I am telling, sir, total of the debit aspects is equal to total of the credit aspects. Sir, is there any error still? There is a chance of existence? Might be, I don't know. But I can tell you one thing, if debit aspects are not equal to the credit aspects, means definitely there is an error. So that's why, to checking the basic issue, arithmetical accuracy is exist or not. Arithmetical accuracy, to know the arithmetical accuracy. I will prepare trial balance. Sir, how I will prepare the trial balance, sir? Ante, with this, just I am showing a very simple trial balance. Please, all of you concentrate, guys. Trial balance is a statement, which is a simple statement prepared to know the arithmetical accuracy. Here, particulars will be there. Particulars, debit aspect, and a credit aspect. Okay. Now the particulars, sir, salaries. Is it debit balance or credit balance? Debit balance, right? So 50,000 recorded. Capital, credit balance, right? That's where recorded in the credit, guys. Next, cash, debit balance, right? That's where recorded under debit. Total of the debits, 1 lakh. Total of the credits, also 1 lakh, which is nothing but TB, trial balance. Now, just a moment. Where I left in the material, let me continue. After recording, I saw the summarizing. Sir, summarizing the book containing the classified information is called as ledger. It involves a grouping of transactions of the one nature, similar nature at one place so as to put information in compact and usable form. Usable form for the preparation of financials. Am I right? So the same thing explained by me. Coming to summarizing, preparation of the trial balance to knowing the arithmetical accuracy, which is not form part of financial statement, guys. Only to knowing arithmetical accuracy, arithmetically accurate or not. Will prepare the trial balance. And financial statements come under this process. So the basic financial statements we already saw. So the basic financial statements are nothing but P&L and balance sheet. These are the basic financial statements. Okay. Next. So still not yet over the accounting definition where I started approximately 1 hour back. Still I'm in the definition of accounting. Accounting is the art of recording, classifying, summarizing the transactions, okay, and events. Okay. Now it is somewhat visible. What is happening somewhat visible, guys, right? The art of recording transactions and events and classifying the recorded journal entries. Then summarizing will prepare the trial balance. We'll start with the preparation of financials. Okay. Sir, how will we prepare the P&L and balance sheet? You already learned in the foundation. So just as a basic issue, I'm telling you, just a moment. In P&L, how it is prepare? One second. Right, guys, concentrate. So let me give this is P&L. Let me give this is balance sheet. Okay. How we will prepare the normal P&L? You already know profit and loss account is the difference between income and expenses. P&L account is also having debit. P&L account is also having credit. Now, all the expenses and all the incomes which are in the ledger, right? Earlier in the ledger, salary is an expenditure, right? Actually, which was not balanced, which was closed. Just for knowing the information, earlier I made it as a balance, right? But which was in generally not having a balance, which was closed. What I have to do, I have to make it close by transferring to P&L. By P&L 50,000. Now in salaries by P&L, if P&L account is there, then in P&L account you have to write 2 salaries, right? You have to write 2 salaries. If it is also ledger, just I'm telling you, 2 salaries 50,000. If it is income, let us assume some sales account is there. Just I'm telling you here, if at all, if any sales account is there. If at all any sales account is there. Sir, in the current year, some sales are made. What is the journal entry, sir? Cash sales. Let us assume cash sales are there. Journal entry was cash account to sales account. Sir, how you know the journal entry in that speedy manner? It's very easy. Apply the accounting equation. Cash account sales account. two aspects are there. Cash is an asset, increase in asset should be debited. So cash account was debited. Sales is an income, increase in income should be created. So the entry was cash account at to sales account. Cash account at to sales account means debit, credit. Under credit side, buy cash. Sales was credited na, so buy cash. So the entry was cash to sales, the posting was buy cash. If I made balance is appearing here, right? It should not be balanced, it should be transferred to P&L. Now sales to P&L means in P&L buy sales, right? So just for knowing the things, just I am expressing, guys. So what, where is the trading accounts are? All things are there. Okay, here I am telling the basically I'm not differentiating the P&L and the trading as well. So just I'm explaining the meaning of the accounting in one by one step. I will tell you everything up to that, up to reaching that point of time. There is no difference between trading and P&L. So why? Because some persons who are not having any awareness of the accounting also should appreciate the concept. That is main objective, my objective. So that's why I'm telling in the basic manner. Please consider it, guys. So incomes will come under credit side, expenses will come under debit side. Now the difference between income and expenses, if you make it a balance, then you will get profit. If income is more, you will get profit here, right? The balance. If expenses is more, you will get a loss here. Only one thing will appear, both will not appear. Then under balance sheet, liabilities will be there. The name itself is liabilities, amount rupees. Assets will be there, amount rupees. Am I right? Sir, in liabilities, first insider liability we have to record, which is nothing but capital. Then outside liabilities, what are all the loans you are taken from the bank? So any creditors derived in the current period, that is all such things will come. Loans, creditors, all such things will come. Under assets, building, plant, debtor, stock. Okay, all such things will come here. Am I right, guys? So which is a simple balance sheet, and the total of liability side and total of asset side should be equal. If you derive profit, add the profit to the capital. If you derive loss, reduce the loss from the capital. With this only we derived the accounting equation earlier, that is capital plus profit plus liabilities is equal to assets. Profit is nothing but income minus expenses. With that only we derived the accounting equation earlier, guys. Hope you understand the basic general balance sheet and profit and loss account as well, which are nothing but financial statements. Now let us move on with the definition of the accounting. Up to summarizing we completed, which have the financial character, that is transactions and events which have the financial character. So after recording, classifying, summarizing, after preparation of the financials, is it accounting over? Still not at over, guys. Now the real importance of accounting begins. Please all of you concentrating. Analyzing. Why accounting? Why accounting? I made a first question, right? For this only. Analyzing. Sir, what you will analyze? What you will analyze? I will analyze financial statements. Analyze means, sir, sales in the current year. Concentrate, guys, all of you. Sales in the current year, 1 lakh. What are the sales in the last year? Sales in the last year was, let us assume, 50,000. So current year was 2021-22, and the last financial year was 2020-21. So while compared with the last financial year, current year sales was doubled, which is analysis. So simply analysis is nothing but establishing the relationship between two items in the financial statements, whether it may be profit and loss account or the balance sheet. With that analysis, what you will know, with that analysis, you can interpret. What is the interpretation? Sir, you made analysis. The interpretation was sales was doubled means this year turnover is double while compared with the last year turnover. That means there is a chance of occurring high profit. There is a chance of occurring high profit. It is a good sign to the entity, which is nothing but interpretation. So the size of the organization was increased. The size of the turnover was increased, which is nothing but interpretation. Okay. The results thereof. Not only interpreting, one more thing is also there. After that interpretation, one more important thing is there. Here not established. No need. That's why I'm not establishing communication. Sir, ultimately the financial information and analysis and the interpretations, ultimately you should be communicated. Sir, communicated to whom? Users of the financial statements. Communicated to whom? Users of financial statements. Earlier I told na, who are the users? Sir, proprietor is the user, sir. Give to the proprietor. If it is the company, shareholder is the owner. Give it to the shareholder, sir. Sir, loan provider, give it to the banker, sir. Give it to the regulator. Give it to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, MCA, which was all companies are established through the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. You maybe income tax department might ask the financials. You can give it to the income tax department. Our creditors are the suppliers of the stock. They may ask why, because whether you have a proper credit worthiness or not, whether you can able to pay the amount or on time or not, they will check. Anybody can ask to the users of the financial statement. You can communicate such information. That is the actually end of the meaning of accounting. Here I'm not explaining elaboratedly analyzing and interpreting. I want to explain the elaborative explanation of analyzing and interpreting and communication through my material. Friends, all of you please concentrate. So last 10 minutes of the session. So I'm almost approximating the 1.5 hour. Again, I'm telling you, each lecture contains at max 1.5 hour only. For the purpose of convenience of watching the lecture. So just each lecture I'm going to divide to 1.5 hour. Please follow. A lot of issues I want to discuss with you. As a basic chapter introduction, I didn't tell much about the subject and all those issues. All such issues will coming under the future sessions. Please be patient. Please brush up your basic skills. So let me continue, guys. Where I left. So analyzing, coming to analyzing. It is concerned with establishment of relationship between the items of profit and loss and balance sheet for a decision making purpose. Some decisions. It also provides the basis of interpretation. So analysis are the basis for interpretation. Am I right? Sir, what are different analysis? Ratio analysis. The best example I can give current ratio. For example, once again. Sir, current ratio is nothing but current assets divided by current liabilities. Sir, current assets is form part of asset. Current liability is form part of liability. What is the difference between asset and current assets, sir? Current asset is nothing but which can be realized in the form of cash within 12 months. Which can be payable within 12 months. A liability which can be payable within 12 months is a current liability. If you are establishing the relation between a current asset and a current liability in the form of current ratio is an analysis. So what is the use, sir? If you are analyzing, let us assume the total current assets are 2 lakhs. Just let us assume the total current assets are 2 lakhs. The total current liabilities are 1 lakh, which is equal to 2. That means my current assets are 2 times while compared with current liabilities. What it will tells? Liquidity position. Liquidity means how far you are able to pay your current liabilities within the period of 12 months. Are you can able to pay? Yes. Why? Because I have twice of the current liabilities on my hand. I have the twice of the realizations. Sir, within 12 months, I have to pay 1 lakh, right? Within 12 months, I can receive twice of that current liability. That's why I'm liquidly very strong. Did you understand? Which is nothing but solvency. How far you are solvent, how far you are maintaining the liquidly solvency position. We will know, which is nothing but analysis. Okay. Horizontal analysis. I already told you horizontal analysis means year by year. This is nothing but horizontal line. Tell me, guys, the analysis itself is a horizontal analysis. Last year, current year, which is nothing but horizontal analysis. Next, that is vertical analysis. Sir, what is the meaning of vertical analysis? It's very simple. Vertical analysis is nothing but within the same year, we are establishing a relationship within the same year. For example, salary to sales, how much? Electricity to sales, how much? So a relationship we are establishing with sales for each and every expenditure, that is salaries by sales. Out of sales, salaries how much? Out of sales, purchases how much? Out of sales, some rental expenditure how much? We are expressing a percentage of expenses on sales, which is nothing but vertical analysis. For example, in the current year, we made sales 5 lakhs, but the salaries we paid only 50,000. That means simply 10% of the sales we are made payment as a salary. Sir, why it is useful? Why it is useful means, sir, whether the salaries payment is feasible to the entity, we paid 50,000. For that payment, we made sales or not. We are putting a target. For example, my target is, sir, I have to pay at max 5% of the sales as a salary. Then my sales should be how much? If I paid salaries 50,000, my target was at max salary should be 5% of my sales. 5% of my sales should be salary, right? Then sales how much? X is equal to 50,000 by 5%. So which is equal to 2.5 lakh, I think so. Am I right? 50,000 divided by 5%. Can you please do it? Which is how much here? $10 lakhs. It's not 2.5. I think so. Sorry. So which are 10 lakhs? So that means I have to made 10 lakhs worth of sales, then only my salaries will be 50,000, right? So my target was achieved now. That is my interpretation. So analysis can be made for any purpose, but the ultimate objective was why you are analyzing, sir, and I have to draw an interpretation. With that interpreted information, the users of the financial statements will take the appropriate decisions. The users of the financial statements may be inside persons or outside persons as well. We will discuss such issues as well. Okay, that is ratio analysis, horizontal analysis, vertical analysis. We completed. Elaborative discussion made by me regarding the analysis. Now coming to interpreting, sir, it is concerned with explaining the meaning and significance of the relationship. The meaning and significance. Sir, now in the analysis part, just I calculated the current ratio equal to 2. What is the use of that? Meaning of that current ratio, I established an interpretation, which is the liquidity position is high, which is an interpretation explaining the meaning and significance of the relationship as established by the analysis of the accounting data. So based on interpretations, end users will take appropriate decisions. So that's why analyzing, interpreting is also form part of accounting, guys. And the last step, which is nothing but communicating, guys. Please all of you concentrate. Within 5 minutes, just I'm closing the lecture. Then after some time, I'm going to record another video lecture. So that's why I can stop this video lecture after 5 to 10 minutes. Please all of you concentrate. Communicating. Sir, it is concerned with the transmission of summarized, analyzed, and interpreted information. Summarized means financial statements. Analysis, okay. Interpretations, okay. That all information to the end users to enable them to take rational decisions, ultimately for the purpose of decision making. This involves distribution of various accounting reports, ratios, graphs, diagrams, fund flow statement, etc. to the public. I can put it as a simple term, which is annual report. Annual report. Sir, each and every entity, coming to the company point of view, I'm talking, each and every company will prepare annual report at the end of the financial year. Annual report contains financial statements, analysis, interpretations, board of directors information, coming projects, different types of analytic issues. All such issues will be clubbed and named as termed as Annual report. If you saw the Reliance annual report, it will run over almost thousands of pages. Yes, I'm not joking, guys. Just here I'm showing Reliance annual report. Just check Reliance annual report. So just take it as 2021. Okay, or 1920. It's better to see 1920. Okay. So see here, guys. So it says a run over pages actually. So graphs, analysis, turnover, profit after tax. So many analysis na. Annual report is form part of analysis, right? One second. So actually the proper document was not downloaded by me. Just give a second, please. Yes, this is a proper document. So 221 pages, almost hundreds of pages are there. Okay. Reliance. So, sir, what are all the things they will include, sir? Please check here. So many graphs are given, right? So many analysis are given, right? Which are form part. Okay. Letter of shareholders. So board of directors information, financial information which also form part of annual report, right? Where the financial information is there. If you are seeing so many diagrams, you are looking, right? So all those are analytical parts. So which are ultimately used by the users of financials for the purpose of proper decision making. Financial information might be there at the, okay, just give a moment. So if you see standalone financial statements, they are giving, right, balance sheet, statement of P&L, statement of changes in equity, cash flow statement, notes to the financial statements. So just information part, I'm telling you balance sheet, statement of P&L, you know, right? So remaining you don't know, just leave it for the time being. So financial statements are also form part of annual report. So all such things will be there in the annual report. Ultimately, we are communicating, sir, how these financials will come. Balance sheet 244, how it is come. So the starting point is journal, ledger. After that only they are preparing the financials and interpretations. So accounting means not only simple recording the journal entry, guys. Accounting is an art of recording the transactions and events and classify the journal entries and making the summarized information, and ultimately with the summarized information you can make it a lot of analysis in the form of graphs, charts, diagrams, or ratio analysis, horizontal analysis, vertical analysis, whatever the case may be. With such analysis you can make it as drawing some interpretations. By using such interpretations you can take a proper decision making. Once all such information should be communicated in the proper manner. That is the meaning of accounting. So the final finishing for this video lecture is the procedure of accounting, which is a diagrammatic representation of the entire accounting meaning what we learned in the current session. So generating the financial information, using the financial information. So we learned about generating the financial information first, which was started with recording of input. What we will recording transactions and events. Then we classified through posting. Okay. Then summarizing. Here trial balance covered and preparation of financial statements also covered. Analysis, ratio analysis, horizontal analysis, vertical analysis. With that, we made some interpretations which are useful to the users of the financial statements for proper decision making. Ultimately, these are communicating as like annual report. Okay. Now, sir, coming to the recording, all of you don't see any other thing. Coming to the recording, economic events and transactions which are measured in financial terms are nothing but transactions and events should be recorded in the books of virginal entry, which is known as journal. Virginal entry, the primary entry. Okay. Then it should be posting to the ledger. Then preparation of trial balance. then preparation of final accounts, and ultimately the output should be communicating to the users of financial statements. Who are the users? Internal users are maybe there, external users are maybe there. External users, first let us see. Investors means maybe shareholders, lenders means maybe bankers, suppliers means maybe creditors, government agencies, I told you na, MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Income Tax Department, customers, which are nothing but debtors. Internal users, proprietor, yes, partner, board of director, manager, officer, whatever the case may be. Then using the financial information is nothing but users of the financial statements. So many persons might they use the financial information, guys. So this is the end of meaning of accounting. Still not the fundamentals of accounting over, not yet over, still lot to discuss. Stay tuned. In the next lecture we are going to discuss much more important issues. With that information we can easily crack what really accounting is. So what are the things we are in generally doing in the accounting? Until bye guys.